Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're now back to being serious. The last couple of videos were a little bit fun, I must say. Not that it's fun that Gone Girl got locked up, but um, some of the video was funny about that Iggy. But let's get back to being serious. This information I just came across, but it falls in line with what's going on now. Um, in my last videos, you heard a lot of different things. You've heard, why would Dex's wife come in and scream at me in Discord? Um, why did Adam come and scream at me in Discord, not want me to talk to WV? Why is WV, West Virginia Prepared Mind, and Homegrown being hacked continuously? They've gone through, I don't know how many cell phones, I don't know how many computers. Homegrown has had to move and hide. He's in fear for his mother getting hurt because things were put out in front of his yard that she could trip over. And Homegrown, I hope that's okay that I said that. And WV has had people come she on her property. She's like in a forested area, trying to make her seem like she was crazy. That woman is not crazy. She's a psychologist. She has an education, and she has been being messed with beyond belief. Why? Because they said no. They did not want to do attacking. They didn't want to do any of that dirty work. Um, which is why they attacked me for second. After Shauna, they attacked her to no end, but then they came after me. But silently, they came after me because I was mourning my husband, and I did stay away from the channel, so to speak, only there every now and then. So they didn't really have to do a whole lot of work on me, but they knew I wouldn't play ball because that first time they asked me to, and I didn't do it quite the way they wanted me to. They knew I was not one of their little goats. They knew that I had a mind of my own, and I could discern right from wrong. So, but they didn't have to worry about me too much because I actually stayed away for a while because of my husband's passing. So, why is all this important? You're saying, well, Elena, we already went through all this. Why are you bringing it up again? Well, let me tell you. So impatient. All right. So, bringing it up again because there's a reason behind it. Now, I'll share something with you. I have an older cousin. She was a headhunter. Well, what's that? No, she didn't go and shrink people's heads. She would go into companies. They'd call her in, and she'd weed out anyone that could not be manipulated, anyone that was not going with the flow, anyone that was causing friction. They would start the game of telephone. They would um, make employees in fear of their job without even doing it, just knowing she was a headhunter. And the reason I know this because I actually worked at a company that she was called in to do that for. She actually hired me. Nobody knew we were related. I did my job. I did it well, but behind closed doors, me and her kind of joke around and stuff. Not about the employees. We just joke around. I go pick on her and take her stapler and her pencils, and I make her laugh, really. But really, she gave me a job. But I also knew what was going on. I knew how the headhunting process worked. Well, it works similar to this. However, this was to weed out so that they could bring in new rules and new um, lower pay and all of that, right? Where what went on here with Dex, Adam, and or Christopher, Michael, and Michelle, um, Adam, Dex, and Lex. What went on with them is completely. It's the same formula, but for a different reason. Okay, and more nefarious and sneaky and underhanded and hurtful to a lot of people. Where I saw my cousin doing headhunting, it was to clean up the company because some people just didn't want to go with the flow, and so they had to weed people out, and that's how most companies work, believe it or not. So, in saying that, as you're going to see Man Snafu Snaps 3, you're quite an amazing young man, I have to say. I'm not I'm not gonna cry. But y'all, Snafu's not doing too good. He's pretty sick. And he's not faking. He's not trying to get attention. He's a very sick young man, and he can use all of your prayers. If you're a prayer warrior, he can definitely use it. And he does believe in prayer. He does pray. He cusses a lot. Yes, he does. But him, Snafu Snaps, Matthew, the man, very, very strong belief. Very strong believer. So please pray for him, okay? And pray that he cleans up his language. Because he's not going to go to heaven talking the way he does. Pray that he cleans up his language. Pray that he is repentant, okay? And pray for his health. We already know you have to die to get out of here. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about him dying. If he goes, well, then it's going to be better for him, because what's about to happen with the kind of medical care he needs, God would show mercy to take him. Okay. But while he's here, he needs prayer because he is suffering. And he needs prayer so he stops cussing. And he needs prayer so he gets that hate out of his heart. But there's a reason why he has that hate in his heart, you guys. I'm sure some of you have already seen this information, but I'm going to give it to you in a different way. Same way, but a little bit cleaner, a little bit more of an understanding as opposed to cussing, okay? He came across some information, and it explains everything that Michael Stratton and his wife Michelle, why he brought her in his head mod. It explains why when they they were all attacking Shauna, me included, for a short time. And I'm going to stress out, with me, it was for a short time. I'm still guilty of it, but it was for a short time because I left. But they were horrendous in the attacks on her. That's not the worst part, though. They continued after we did the apology video, which I have to say, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but that apology video was a load of garbage. And I don't know if I said this in any other video before, but Shauna, that apology video was a load of garbage. It was crap. None of them meant it. Before they did the apology video, we were all on that phone call, 10 people on phone line, and I begged them all to stop. I begged them to please bring you back into the fold. To please, let's just end this. Let's stop this. And Lex said no. Dex's wife, Michelle, said no. She didn't want to have nothing to do with that. And when I gave my apology video, I meant it. West Virginia meant it. Everybody else, full of garbage. All of it. I wanted it taken down. I wanted my part of it taken down because I didn't want to be associated with their apology because I knew it wasn't real. But you know what they did to Shauna? We thought it was over. And I remember a day or two after the apology video, me and West Virginia and CJ Blaze, we were all in Discord talking. And first it was me and West Virginia, and we were pretty upset because Lex kept the attacks. Her and Snafu still kept the attacks going in Snafu's chat. And we were getting pretty pissed because why did we do the apology video if they were going to continue it? And CJ came in the room and she said, what's going on? And we were, neither me or West Virginia wanted to tell her why we were upset. And she kept trying to figure it out. And I said, well, it's about one particular person that's upsetting us. And she said, well, who? And I said, well, let me put it to you this way, CJ. Whoever says her name is out. Meaning, we knew it would get back to her as to who called her out, Lex, and then that person would be, pushed out. Well, CJ Blaze got real quiet and she goes, Lex. And me and West Virginia said, yes, she won't stop the attacks. She keeps going. And then Jay came in the room. Jay Stone 78 came in the chat room. And she's all acting dumb with what's going on? What's going on? She's really good at acting stupid, but she's not a stupid girl. But she kept saying, what's going on? What's going on? Well, none of us would give it up. None of us would say what we were talking about to her. And, well, I don't know if CJ ever said anything to her. I know me and West Virginia never said anything to Lex, but I have a feeling CJ did because she had she has those pinwheel eyes for Adam. But I don't know for sure. So at this same time, months have gone by. The attacks kind of stopped that we could see, but from what I am hearing is that the attacks never stopped on Shauna. They kept going for months, a few months afterwards, telling her to kill herself, telling her they wanted her dead. Most of all, telling her to kill herself, which is what I had mentioned about, doing to vets and how emotional they are. This is how cruel Dex's wife is and Dex. These are the kind of people we're dealing with here. Okay? That once the apology video was out and we all want to stop the attacks, Lex kept it going. And when she saw that we didn't like it, they did it in silence. And they attacked her for a few months afterwards, telling her to take her own life. Okay? Now, why? Because she knew too much. It is my assumption, because I have not heard this for a fact, but I don't think that she would argue against it, is that she knew what they were doing. She knew what they were planning. And she didn't want no part in it. And she wanted to be a part of the Fugel family. So she was conflicted, but didn't want to have anything to do with the data mining. So they pushed her out. And then they didn't really have to push me out. My husband died, so I kind of walked away a little bit. They didn't have to really deal with me. It would have been wise for them to have gotten rid of me back then instead of now. But it is what it is. So how do you take over a company? You cause strife. You cause arguments between people. You separate and segregate other employees. Although we weren't being paid, doesn't matter. That's what we were looked upon as. Use the telephone to create division. All these crazy things when you want to take over a company. Now, remember in one of my videos, I had said that I was talking to Snafu the morning after Lex had yelled at me, and I told him that I felt like Dex was going to take over, and right now they're grooming him to be the patsy and all the jokes, and I didn't like that. I didn't like Adam being made a joke of, and I told Snafu, I said, you watch, the time's going to come. They're going to kick him out, and he's going to be looking like the fool because he's being the joke. He's the pun of every joke. And Dex has looked at more serious. And a lot of people in the chats were saying that the show was nothing without Dex. And I saw this all. My spirit showed me all of this, okay? But when Snafu called me the next day and said, hey, are you going to tell Adam? And I said, you know what? It's not my business. I'm going to mind my own business. I just want to go on with my life, la, la, la. Well, looks like I was right. Now, as long as Adam plays ball, he's good to go. He's worth $6 million right now. If he had stopped playing ball, I'm pretty sure he would have been kicked out by now. He may still get kicked out. So keep that in mind. So, what you're about to see or hear is Snafu Snaps found the damaging information, which some of you may have seen but didn't really pay much attention to, and because of his delivery. So again, this is a little bit of a softer way of giving you that information. And yeah, you think the other ones blew you away. Huh. This one is going to show you the proof of the data mining. And this one's not going to blow you away. This is going to put you up in an airplane to Mars. I mean, this one is wow. So Snafu Snaps, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for waking some of us up and never giving up. Regardless of whose side you were on in the beginning, we know what side you're on now. and we love you for it. All right, guys. Hold on to your shorts. Here we go.
Well, certainly there's all the talk of understanding the customer and what is the best. The most exciting thing to me in this field is absolutely the amount of data that's becoming available. It's also the scary thing, but it's
propaganda and celebrity status. You guys are fooled. Fooled. Some of you are turning the other cheek. Some of you are saying, oh, it doesn't matter. Some of you saying, whoa, just whatever. No, what I do know is people are being put in danger in more ways than you could ever know. 100%. 100%. I know that there's people, the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor, but I also know when it comes down to invading people's personal devices, invading personal lives, grooming to do what you need to do to get their agendas through.
As I said before, first there was me, and I didn't quite play ball the way they wanted me to, but they didn't really need me to because my husband passed away. So they made sure to pit everyone against me. So when I came back, they would all be deceiving and lying straight to my face, like CJ and Lisa and Jay, and all of them were lined up and geared and, as Snafu says, culted up against me, and I had no idea. And then they asked Homegrown to attack somebody. They told him what to say. Homegrown is a very, very devout Christian, and he couldn't go along with it. And he said no. The attacks started on him. The attacks on him were more prevalent because he was there, They once Adam promoted his Homegrown's channel and he started to grow, that's when they felt that they can go and ask him to do these things. He said no. And they are still hacking his phones, hacking his computers, and to this day, they're still after him. And then there's WV West Virginia Prepared Mind. They, um, she was a mod, and but she didn't play these games. I never saw her play any of these games. She was there and she would talk about it and stuff like that when we were in the rooms, but I don't remember her ever playing games like this. And towards the end, she didn't want to have nothing to do with any of this garbage. She didn't like it. She tried to get Snafu to stop a lot of the attacks, and and since then the attacks have not stopped on her, and they have been horrifying. And well, if you're up to date, you'll know what they've done to her. But she just put a video out the other day. I encourage you to go and watch that video. I'll put a link in the description. Before we dive deeper into this rabbit hole, there's some things that I came across. Um, Snafu Matthew tried to tell people, but watching just a couple of minutes of one of his videos and all the cussing, I could see why people would not listen to him or turn it off. So again, this is a more subtle way of giving you that information. And what you're about to see is quite, it's disturbing, and it's just going further. Well, Vlad, what do you have to say about that?
After watching Snafu Snap video, what could you possibly need a non-disclosure agreement for running a YouTube channel?
Vlad, you see, there's lots of reasons for having someone sign an NDA. You don't have to be a movie star or a rock singer to get your staff to sign one. You can just be somebody that, just you and your husband decide you want your maid or your childcare provider, whoever works in your home or what have you, sign an NDA because you don't want them to know what's going on in your home. As far as a business, you don't want things to be let out. Like, for instance, telling one employee to maybe make a phone call or send a text or an email or something to somebody that might hurt them, maybe their feelings, or maybe pressure them to do something they don't want to do, and another employee has knowledge of that. Well, if you have an NDA, they can't disclose that knowledge. Nobody can disclose what occurred. You can't tell what the boss had you do because there's a non-disclosure, meaning you won't disclose what's happened in that realm, in that group. So that's pretty much what an NDA is.
Why would he have mods sign NDAs?
Well, Vlad, what I can tell you as far as me, when I became a mod, it was just, he just chose me to be a mod. I didn't ask or anything. And months went by, and one day, Dex shows up, and there's a fight between him and Shauna and Adam, and disagreements, and I didn't know what it was all about. But I know during the fighting, before my husband passed away, we were asked to sign NDAs. I didn't think twice about it, but I never signed anything. Um, I think Dex was getting a little bit of feedback from the other mods as well, because we were all older women. We weren't young kids. So I don't know about the other mods, but we did not know what I just found out. Now I know why. And I'll let you know in a few minutes.
What could possibly be so important you can't have word getting out? WV, I'll be straight up. I thought WB was whack, but I thought she might have been getting a touch of the Alzheimer's, dual personality disorder, split personality disorder.
And I believe the same way too. When I started hearing about the things that she was saying that were happening to her in her home, her furniture being moved, medicines being left on the floor so her grandbaby couldn't get a hold of them. Um, she would leave things in one place on a table and come back and it'd be missing, and just things that she was saying just to the average person makes no sense, right? And there were um, SUVs driving up and down her street, and people going in the woods, and she'd scare them off. And one might think somebody like that is, maybe seeing or hearing things until you find out the truth, until you find out more on the other side of what's really going on. I didn't believe her either, but I do now. Yep, I do now. And not only that, Vlad, the reason we don't hear a lot about homegrown is because when Adam started to shout out his channel, he started to grow. Kind of like what's happening with CFP, Central Florida Prepper. But Homegrown is a godly man. Homegrown is a very strong Christian man. And he just thought it was great. He's going to get the word out. He sends out Bibles to people and everything. Well, once it started to happen, they asked him to send out one of those text messages or emails or what have you. He couldn't do it. His spirit wouldn't allow him to do it. He could not do it as a man. And this seemed just like childish things that they want him to do. Well, he was not boisterous about it. He was not loud about it. And when things started to happen, when he said no, things started to happen to him, just like with WV. But he didn't speak about it. He hid. He moved, and they still found him. They've hacked his phones, his computers. He's gone through many phones, many computers, and they've made his life a literal hell, even putting his mom in danger. So, and I hope it's okay that I say these things, but I'm just briefly explaining that this happened to more than just one person.
But I believe her now. And I believed her for a while. I believed her ever since she made her big video. talking about this matter. And I'm really, really, really wondering how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Well, Vlad, there are a lot of things that have taken place. I'm going to expose one of the larger ones here in this video, but they all link together. You know, once you're a criminal and or you do nefarious things and you're not somewhat the honest person, as you know, a lot of us are, we wouldn't even think to do these things. But to the person that thinks to do these things, this is nothing to them. And it goes, beyond stealing from a veterans charity. And I'm just really surprised at the founder of that charity that they would go along with that. But put that aside, this is something new that I just found out, and it all kind of lines together as to the character of the person that Adam brought in Dex. And when I look at Adam's background, it all makes sense why they meld together so well and why Shauna didn't meld with them, because her character is doesn't does not encircle their their vicinity of their ethics and morals. Hers is on a much higher realm, and as a lot of us are, we don't do those things. And someone that fought for her country and put her life on the line, and then asked to be doing these things. No, Shauna didn't want to have nothing to do with any of this when she found out um, what what they were doing.
There's more coming. It's this rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yes, Glad, you're right. It does get deeper and deeper and deeper, and to the point that every time, I go to do a video, I find out more and more, and it's quite disturbing. And you're right. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper.
I would really love for you to comment. Tell me what an NDA would be needed for.
Well, Vlad, I know that Adam, aka Christopher, and Dex, aka Michael Stratton, I know that they're not going to come forward and explain anything to us. This would have to be done in a court of law to extract any information from them, really. But I can give you an idea. I can show you something of what I found that um, would give them reason to have us sign NDAs, and would make it'd be much more clear, make more sense why they would want us to do that, the mods, um, because of the things that they do in life, the things that they don't have any moral fortitude to not do these things. So let me show you what I found. I think you might want to tie a rope on, because you're going to get stuck down that rabbit hole, because this one's going to go pretty darn deep.
When Shauna said something about as long as you don't do anything illegal, what was she alluding to? Is he doing something illegal, immoral?
Vlad, what I'm about to show you is something that was illegally done, and not on Adam's part, but by um, him bringing in Dex and then going along with this new venture of Dex. I do believe we have some illegal things happening here. But what I'm about to show you is the character of Michael Stratton, and I think it's going to clear a lot of things up for a lot of people.
I'm not accusing, I'm asking.
Alrighty, I'm going to do my best to explain this to you. This is a court case filed August 30th, 2018, about a year, just over a year before Dex showed up into Marfoogle TV and news. All right, so here you have Ironwood Research Group LLC is the plaintiff versus Mitchell Mars, defendant slash third party plaintiff. Why is that? Because Mitchell Mars created Ironwood Research Group LLC. He used his own money. He funded it himself. It's his. But he turned it into an LLC. When you have an LLC, you are, you're open for a takeover if someone wishes to do that to you and other things. And it protects your personal funds and things like that. So first, the court has to figure out, is he the defendant or if he's the plaintiff? So they have to establish that, first of all, Ironwood Research Group is his, because below that you see Michael Stratton, aka Dex, as the third party defendant, because Michael Stratton tried to take Mitchell Mars's company from him in a hostile takeover. And yeah, this is going to be a good one, y'all. Okay, so counterclaims and third party petition. Defendant Mitchell Mars for his counterclaims against plaintiff Ironwood Research Group LLC alleges and states the following. Facts. Mars is the founder of Ironwood Research Group. Number 2, as part of his action in founding Ironwood Research Group, Mars acquired an internet domain, ironwoodresearchgroup.com, which he owned in his individual capacity. Mars fully funded and caused the formation of the Wyoming Limited Liability Company known as Ironwood Research Group, LLC, plaintiff herein. In doing so, Mars retained a professional organizer who filed the necessary paperwork in Wyoming for plaintiff's formation. The organizer transferred control of plaintiff to Mars as solo member and MC, Crypto LLC as manager. So then why does it say that Mitchell Mars is the defendant against the plaintiff Ironwood Research Group LLC? Because Michael Stratton did a hostile takeover. They took everything from him because he is young, an upcoming guy, and naive a little bit, I think. And Michael Stratton took the company from him. And it was hostile, and there was a few other guys involved, I think, but, well, not think, there were. But Michael kicked him out of it, locked him out of everything, the funds and everything. And so he had to be a defendant against his own company because the company now belonged or was in the hands of Michael Stratton. Okay. So that's why Mitchell Mars was the plaintiff or a defendant against the plaintiff Ironwood Research Group. He's going to get it back though. But okay, this is the first page. Thereafter, management of the company fell into discord, and Mars and MC, Crypto LLC, were improperly removed from involvement in the operation of plaintiff without notice or an opportunity to be heard. Michael just took it from him. Since that time, all information pertaining to plaintiff's operations has been kept from Mars. So Michael Stratton and all them, the guys that were working with, they wouldn't tell him anything. They were just running the company. They just kicked him out. They just took it from him. Plaintiff has now posted an important notice regarding Mitchell Mars on its website stating that this court has entered a temporary restraining order and has enjoined Mars from taking any further action as manager of IRG, making any further representations that he has authority to act on IRG's behalf and interfering with the operations of IRG's business or financial affairs. Theories of recovery. A declaration judgment. Mars realleges and incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the other allegations of these counterclaims and further alleges. There presently exists between an actual controversy and or the need for adjudication by the Cleveland County District Court to determine the right status or other legal relations between the plaintiff and Mars. The court is requested to adjudicate that Mitchell Mars is the sole member of plaintiff, that MC Crypto LLC is the manager of plaintiff, and that all of the managerial actions taken by MC Crypto LLC after the formation of plaintiff on January 18, 2018 are valid, binding, taken in good faith, and in the best interest of plaintiff. Alternatively, the court is requested to adjudicate that Mitchell Mars is a member of plaintiff holding a 44% membership interest. So what does all that mean? It means that the court decided that the company does belong to Mitchell Mars and that they took it, and they are saying that he is no longer a defendant against his own company. He is now a plaintiff alongside his company. Yay for him. Good for him. Conversion. Mars realleges and incorporates, as it fully set forth herein, the other allegations of these counterclaims and further alleges. Mars was the registered owner of the domain ironwoodresearchgroup.com and ironwood.io. After registration in his individual name, the registrant information for said domain was changed without Mars' permission. Plaintiff should be ordered to return registration to Mars. Accounting. Mars realleges and incorporates, as it fully set forth herein, the other allegations of these counterclaims and further alleges. Since the wrongful ejection of Mars from the plaintiff's operations, plaintiff has withheld the financial information for Mars. Mars is entitled to all documents, which would permit an accounting of the costs incurred and revenue received by plaintiff companies, as well as the manner in which such revenue has been spent or distributed. Plaintiff should be ordered to provide a full and complete accounting as requested above. Indemnification. Mars realleges and incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the other allegations of these counterclaims and further alleges. Section 4.7 of the operating agreements at issue in this case provides for indemnification by plaintiff of members named as defendants in civil actions by reason of the fact. Mars has at all times acted in or not opposed to the best interest of plaintiff. Plaintiff should be ordered to indemnify Mars for his expenses, including attorney fees as well as any judgment rendered against him. So basically, he's saying that I should be allowed to use my company and my company's money to use in my defense and to use as I see fit, because now the company he has it back now. Judicial dissolution. Mars realleges and incorporates, as I fully set forth herein, the other allegations of these counterclaims and further alleges. The conduct of those members and managers in control of the company is oppressive and directly harmful to Mars. Pursuant to WYO Stat N 17-29-701AV, the court should enter an order dissolving plaintiff. So pretty much the court saying, get them jokers out of there. Michael Strutton. Third-party petition. Third-party plaintiff Michael Mars, for his claims against third-party defendant Michael Strutton, alleges and states as follows. Facts. Strutton is an individual who resides near Atlanta, Georgia. Strutton is currently holding himself out as the chief executive officer of plaintiff. Prior to his professional involvement with plaintiff, Strutton was a member of the online community which subscribed to Ironwood Research Group's work. At that time, he was employed with this technology company, Oracle. Prior to working for Oracle, Strutton had experience with technology companies. After being laid off from his job with Oracle, Strutton began working with plaintiff, whose management consisted of young, inexperienced entrepreneurs, including Mars. So you took advantage, is what you did. While initially congenial, the relationship between Mars and Strutton soured. So much so that one purportedly agonizing day of requesting copies of a document from Mars, once Strutton obtained the document, he immediately moved to oust Mars from the company Mars had founded. By fabricating Mars into a common enemy, Strutton was able to align himself with the rest of the plaintiff's management team and used his experience to leverage the support of the aforementioned inexperienced entrepreneurs against Mars. As noted above, Mars was not given notice of any sort of meeting regard his ousting, nor was an informal meeting even requested. Thereafter, in furtherance of this crusade against Mars, this lawsuit was filed. So, Dex, Michael Strutton, it's the same thing that you did with us mods. You turned them all against me once I was out of the way because of my husband's death. You turned them all against me. So when I came back, I was kind of floating around, but nobody would talk to me. Nobody treated me the same. You did the phone call thing, called everybody, and had everybody. When do you grow up? When do you grow up and be a positive influence on people and earn your own dang money? Because it looks to me like all you're doing is going around, you and your little wife, that little demon you married, go around stealing money from everybody else because you can't make your own. Mister, I invented this and I invented that. You probably stole that too. Who knows? You should be ashamed of yourself. Both you and your wife. You both are demons. All right, well, let's read on. Okay. I just had to get that out. That just made me so mad. After the court's ruling on the parties' competing injunction applications, Strutton reached out to third parties with the following message. Have you been contacted by Mitchell Mars claiming Ironwood Research Group? I hear he was engaged with your ICO. I'm the CEO at IRG, and we currently have pending litigation of fraud against Mars. We were recently rewarded a TRO from a Oklahoma judge. Shame to meet you under these circumstances. What were you doing, Michael? What was that for? You know what he was doing, y'all? He was blackballing Mitchell Mars to other companies. You'll find that as we read on. He blackballed him, calling other companies, at least this one that they're showing, saying that he's in trouble for fraud. And so once he was even cleared, those companies still won't work with him. He caused a lot of damage to this young man. You should be ashamed. Man, your mama needs to slap you. You didn't get slapped enough as a child. Theories of recovery. Tortious interference with business relations. Mars realleges and incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the other allegations of this third party petition and further alleges. Mars had a business relationship as a result of his position with plaintiffs, partners, and customers, as well as plaintiff's management team. Because of Strutton's improper conduct, Mars has lost these relationships. There is no justification or excuse for Strutton's willful, malicious, and wrongful conduct that improperly interfered with said relationships. Those relationships would not have been lost were it not for Strutton's conduct. This young man is trying to make something of himself. And here you come, Mr. Bully of the Yard. You come in and you take his lunch. You squeeze out the lunch money inside. You eat the good stuff, toss them the bag, and then you go sell the good stuff to your buddies. What's wrong with you? You're a bully. I'm so happy you did not get away with this. You're going to pay for what you've done, Michael. Mars has suffered damage as a consequence. Interference with prospective economic advantage. Mars realleges and incorporates, as if fully set forth herein, the other allegations of this third-party petition and further alleges, because of Strutton's wrongful conduct, multiple parties have refused to work with Mars. There's no justification or excuse for Strutton's willful, malicious, and wrongful conduct that improperly interfered with potential business opportunities of Mars. Consequently, Mars lost profits. Combined prayer for relief. Wherefore, defendant, third-party plaintiff, Mitchell Mars, prays that the court enter judgment as follows. Declaring that Mars is the sole member of plaintiff, that MC Crypto LLC is the manager of plaintiff, and that all of the managerial actions taken by MC Crypto LLC after the formation of plaintiff on January 18, 2018 are valid, binding, taken in. good faith and in the best interest of plaintiff, or alternatively, declaring that Mars is a member of plaintiff holding a 44% membership interest, directing plaintiff to return the domain ironwoodresearchgroup.com and ironwood.io to Mars, ordering that plaintiff permits Mars access to its books and records and provide an accounting, ordering that plaintiff be dissolved pursuant to the Wyoming limited liability. So basically, he wants his company back, and he would like for Michael Stratton and the other guys just to go away. But he wants his company back, and if he has to share it with them, then he wants to hold the 44% membership interest. Company Act. For actual and punitive damages against Stratton for tortious interference with business relations and interference with prospective economic advantage in excess of $75,000, for an award of attorney fees and costs, and for such other and further relief as the court finds just and equitable under the circumstances. Now, y'all remember when in one of my last videos I shared with you the morning after Michelle yelled at me that I told Snafu Snaps that I felt that Michael Stratton Dex was going to take over Marfoogle, that he was going to, I just felt like he was making him look like the fool and that he was going to end up taking over his company and blah, blah, blah. I felt that in my spirit back then. That was, God, 3 years ago. Well, two and a half, maybe. And here he did it to this other guy. And I think the only reason he hasn't done it to Adam is because Adam wanted the money. Adam went along with it. Adam's going along with it. He's going along with the charity fraud. He's going along with the data mining. You guys have no idea what the data mining is. You believe what he says. When the New World Order comes in, they're going to know everything about you because of what Michael's done. And he used all of us as his guinea pigs. What he's done is so horrible. So horrific. You're going to the pit, Michael. You and your wife. Dang, what the hell am I saying? This didn't start with me. This was with Shauna. You ousted Shauna. Okay, y'all. Shauna, before Michael Stratton and his wife Melissa. It's not Michelle, y'all. Her name's Melissa. I saw a different court document. What are you in court for now? I saw y'all filing stuff. Anyway, before Michael came in, it was Shauna. Shauna had talked to Adam, and they were going to work. They were working together. She was going to be getting paid once money started coming in. She was going to be a partner, which is why he gave her a channel that had. Shauna was given a YouTube channel, and it was named Have No Fear or something like that. I can't remember the name. Anyway, it had like 7,000 subs to it, and it was gaining more because of the Fugel family was going over joining her channel, and she had an awesome channel. She was having, as a matter of fact, it was her that was bringing us on her show, not Adam. I mean, we were doing all kinds of prepping stuff, and it was fun. I wish none of this happened, man, because that girl, she'd probably be in the hundreds of thousands of subs, and I'm so sorry, Shauna. I'm so sorry that we ruined that for you. That Adam ruined that for you. I'm still so sorry that I got involved. Every time I think about what we did, and again, it doesn't matter how minuscule somebody was involved. If you were there on a phone call, you were involved. People might be saying, "Oh yeah, look at Elsie JC. She goes and hurts Shauna. Now she's on, on her own little pedestal. Acting, holier than thou against Adam." Oh no, you couldn't be so wrong. I am not on a pedestal. I am more humble than I've ever been in my entire life. I have never apologized to anybody more than I have to Shauna. And I don't apologize if I'm not wrong. I don't apologize to anybody if I'm not wrong. I will say things like, I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry that what I said or what I did hurt you. But if I don't think I'm wrong, that's all you're going to get from me. But if I'm wrong, and this is more than just being wrong, and the more things I find out, the more things that I'm coming across, the more humble I become. And I don't even deserve her forgiveness, but I know in the Father's eyes I do. And I know she should forgive me because that's the right thing to do if she wants to go to heaven. But do any of us deserve her forgiveness? We don't deserve it. In the eyes of the Father, yes, but as humans, all of you mods should be calling her or doing videos and apologizing to her for what you've done. You still continue to stay with Adam, with Marfoogle and Dex. If you stay with them after this video, seeing that he did it to another company, now him and his wife, Adam, are filing stuff in a court over here, okay, of this year. Are they filing to take over? Because now they're going to do it right this time. You might want to check yourself, Adam, because I have a feeling it's going to happen to you. I was shown it when I left. It was 3 years ago, not 2.5, two. It was 3 years ago. My husband died in August. This happened a few months later. And I was shown the takeover. I was shown that they took this from you. And you were sitting on the oust, and everyone and all your subs looked at you like the fool. I was shown this, Adam. Just as much as the Father shows me the music and he talks to me, he guides me, he tells me what to do. But you have to know how to listen to your spirit. And I'm telling you what he showed me 3 years ago. Ask Snafu, talk to him. Adam, call Matthew and talk to him. He'll tell you what I saw that day. He'll tell you what I told him that day. I don't hate you, Adam. I know you think that we're all against you. We hate you. No. Dex has done all of this. You followed it along like a little puppy. Well, it's time for you to stand up and grow some cojones. Call Matthew and ask him what I told him that day. I saw this happening to you. They're filing stuff into court. And I went to try and look at it, but you have to pay. And I'm not going to pay to look at the court papers. Were they filing to take over your company? What are they in court for? Are they in trouble? Did they do something else? He is not a good man. You've been in trouble in your young youth, yeah. As an adult, doing what you're doing right now, following him, hurting people, Adam. I never did anything to hurt you. But you still played telephone, turned everybody against me. But before you did it to me, you did it to Shauna. What did that girl do to you? Besides fight for your right to do what you're doing. She went in the military. She fought for you. Did you understand that? Yeah, I was lost for a little bit, caught up in all this garbage. But being away, I was able to stand on the outside and look in just like everybody else. And how you have all these followers, I have no idea. Because I'm on the outside and I'm looking in and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, look at all these people. They idolize you. They're all going to go to hell for idolizing you. And one might say, oh no, I just enjoy his channel. Okay, then stop watching. Don't watch it for a month. Do not turn on his channel. Do not watch. Do not. Nothing. Don't even go to his page for a month. Because if you cannot do that for a month, he's your idol. And that's where you will spend hell with. That's where you will go and that's who you will spend hell with. That is your idol. Try it, Adam. Call Matthew. Ask him what I told him that day. And I'm pretty sure that's what Michael and his wife, Melissa, are doing. And you should call Shauna and talk to her and tell her you're sorry. She probably don't even want to hear an apology from you, but you should. We're doing open one, but hell, you won't even say you're sorry for stealing from Veterans. How are you going to freaking call and say you're sorry for hurting her? Adam, what you did to her was reprehensible. You let Dex come in. You let the beast in. Do y'all know? Do you all know? This is the beast system tracking us. knowing everything about you. I always wondered, did you always wonder how they're going to do that with all these billions of people on the planet? How in the world are they going to get a hold of? Certainly we can hide. Well, I moved to the middle of nowhere, and guess what? I clicked, and I clicked, and I clicked, and I clicked. With software that Michael Stratton made, created, invented. This is the B system. This is what they're going to use. It's worldwide. So next time you go on a Marfoogle TV, you thank Dex. You say, hey, thanks for letting us know that you're the beast system. Not the beast, he's a beast of the beast system. He created it. That's what Michael's job was here, was to create the beast system. How to track and hack everybody. Yep, that's exactly what he was here for. And he did his job, and you did it well, Michael. And you got yourself a pretty little demon wife. Well, y'all used to be pretty, but you can see the demons coming out in you because look at yourselves in the mirror. You don't look like that no more, do you? And I ain't talking about your weight change. Both of y'all have put on pounds, like a lot, but that's okay. So do I. I go up and I go down, and I go up and I go down. I'm talking about your face. Look at your face. You see the demons in your face. They're right there because that's what inhabits you. All this young man wanted to do was start his own company and make something of himself. He worked hard. He used his own money. He funded his own company. And Michael Stratton. Like ain't nobody's business. And what do? You turn all the employees against him, all the upper management against him, probably employees too, I'm sure. And you told them some stuff and got them to believe you, just like you did with Shauna. You got us all to believe you and Mike. We all turned against her, fought against her horrendously. And while I was gone, you were getting them all against me. You got them all culted up. That's exact. You know, when I was watching, when I first found out about all this, watching WV's channel that night, she was screaming at you. I knew nothing. I knew nothing, Dex. Michael, I didn't know anything. I was floored. I sat there stunned that you guys were at it. And I I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But what you did to Shauna was everything you did to me behind my back when I was gone with my husband's passing. Because you knew when you called me that day after Adam, you were trying to fill me out to see if, if I was going to play ball with y'all. And when I wouldn't, you didn't stay on the phone very long with me because you knew that I would not go with this. Because I wasn't in this for very long. A little bit here in the beginning and a little bit, or in the middle, and then a little bit in the end. But I would have woken up eventually to it all. It's just that I walked away and I stayed away from the channel. I questioned everything, but I didn't go back and really pay attention or watch. Because had I would have seen all of this. I didn't see it all until I saw WV's channel. And next thing I know, Snafu Snaps comes through my feed. And I watch one of his videos and I'm thinking, oh, everyone's calling everybody a Nazi and everyone's calling everybody this and that. I didn't think nothing of it. So when I watched one of his videos, it was like, no, he's just calling people names. No, he ain't just calling people names. You are a communist, both you and Adam. You are against your own country, your own people. He ain't lying when he says that. It ain't name calling when he says it. He means it in every sense of the word. You guys are Nazis. You were turned us all into the beast system. Everything that he says, even though it sounds like name calling and rude and mean, he's telling the truth. God help you. God help you both. I don't think he will. But God help you. And Shauna, I would really like to talk to you because there's something I think that you and I should do together. And I think I know who would be very eager to help us. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Vlad, I hope that cleared up about the NDA as to why one might want an NDA signed. And I hope this gives you some answers. I know that Snafu put this information out, but a lot of people didn't watch it because of the delivery. So I hope this delivery was a little bit soothing to the ear, that you might have understanding, or I know you would, but others would have more understanding as to what took place. So, all right, get ready for my next video. All right, be blessed.
I'll be straight up. I thought, what do you need an NDA for on a YouTube channel? I'm really, really, really wondering how deep this rabbit hole goes talking about this matter. This time, there's more coming. This rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.